Hello, and welcome back to another Dokkan battle video. So, as you were seeing, we did finally get the information for STR UI Goku, as well as a bunch of other stuff, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at everything here. I have already read all his information, so I know how good he is, and we're blah, 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 and I do think he is quite good. So let's just go ahead and get the information over to you guys, that way you guys know exactly what he does. Alright, so first off, his leader skill is Realm of Gods, Ki +4, HP attack needs 150, and then Super STR types Ki +4 and HP attack needs 100%. Not bad at all for Battlefield. You can probably make some use out of it there. His 12 Ki gives you 30% attack and defense for one turn, disables guard, and causes colossal damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense, which is not bad at all. Remember, before all he did was disable enemy guard, so it is good that he now has actual super attack effects. And then on 18 Ki, he gets 50% attack and defense for one turn, disables enemy guard, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, and then raises all allies' attack by 50% for the turn, which is actually pretty helpful because since this guy is a dodging-based character, him being in slot 1 really isn't a problem, so you're able to actually make use out of that 50% attack from the super attack, which usually most characters don't really get the benefit of that, because when you have that mechanic, right, where you need to super attack in order to buff your allies, if you're not capable of being in slot 1, it's basically a pointless ability. So him being a dodge character, he's actually able to provide that support over to his team there. Then his passive attacking needs 177% at the start of turn. He gets Ki +4 and a great chance of evading enemies' attacks, including super attack for 7 turns at the start of turn. Remember, that's 70% chance, and a high chance of evading enemies' attacks, including super attacks, starting from the 8th turn. So once he still has basically the same mechanic as before, where he starts at 70% chance for the majority of the fight, and then after the 8th turn, he drops down to 50%. However, where his EZA comes into play here, he gets an additional 7% chance to dodge for every reps a Universe 7 category ally attacking in the same turn as him besides himself. So, pretty good. I think, so really what he's going to have is an 84% chance to dodge for those first 7 turns if you have 2 reps allies. And then typically you're probably going to have at least one. Blue Cow can definitely still be useful. They share a bunch of links together. AGL UI later on during the celebration is going to probably EZA, and he's going to be quite good. So that's at very least one other one, so that brings him up to 77. It's just, and then if you're running the tournament participants category, you can use like Physical 17. Who else? You can kind of get away with the int androids depending on whether or not you're in an AoE event or not, but there's a couple reps allies that you can get some use out of. Remember though that this guy, since he is STR, he does have access to STR Kaba to give him another 60% support. So he has a lot going for him right now. Then he gets an additional defense plus 77% for the rest of battle after this character evades an attack, which is good, right? Then he gets an additional attack plus 77% for the rest of battle after this character evades an attack as the first attacker in the turn. So you really want him to be in slot 1 if you want him to do any kind of decent damage. And then he gets an additional Ki +1 up to 7, attack and defense, and chance of performing a crit plus 11% up to 77% with each attack evaded. So not only does he have built-in crit, he has built-in dodge, and he's getting all this Ki. Pretty much I would definitely say go additional with this guy because he already has basically a 80% chance to dodge all times. So definitely go full additional, get a little bit of extra defense out of his 12 Ki. And it'll also allow him to do a little bit more damage because you're going to have that crit built up. I guess you could technically go full dodge with this guy, but like the problem with going full dodge with him is I think you're kind of overloading it. Because the amount of dodge that you actually get from your hidden potential system is not like added in directly into your base chance to dodge. It is calculated separately. So realistically, you're probably, if you have like 25 dodge on him, you're really only going to get like another value-wise 6%-ish chance to dodge, which I guess is technically like a 90% chance to dodge. But do you really need, is it really going to make that much of a difference? I guess for some people it will, but for others I definitely say just go full additional with this guy and he will be perfectly fine to cook pretty much anywhere. Being STR is really helpful right now because there's not really a whole lot of AGL enemies that are actually kind of strong. Who is the strongest AGL enemy in the game right now? Like I don't even think there really is any that are even worthy of being. Probably like what, the AGL Metal Cooler? I think he's probably the strongest AGL enemy. Yeah, probably AGL a little cooler. Because none of the other fights are AGL anymore, so, I mean, he's a good typing for the time being. Plus, there's a lot of physical fights where he's going to be really good. So I do think STR UI actually has like a very, very solid build here. We did also have a bit of news got dropped. We have this new Beerus who's going to awaken into a UR immediately. This is the same style of event that gave us the Hercule as well as like another character from the Worldwide Download Celebration. This is the typical free-to-play character that we get. Because he does awaken into a UR already, I'm going to assume that Beerus is actually going to be the free-to-play LR here. Now, I don't know what this Beerus is going to awaken into. Again, currently this is a Battle of Gods Beerus. As you can see, God Goku's here. So I'm not really too sure about what he's actually going to look like after he awakens even further than that, and maybe even into an LR. Hopefully he's good. Our last free-to-play LR from the anniversary was kind of garbage, so I'm really hoping he's not. Then we have this Frieza first form. I believe this is Frieza first form. It's either first form or youth, because this is like a really young Frieza from the beginning of the Broly movie, when he like comes down to Planet Vegeta, and they're like, "Hey, Frieza's going to be in charge now." That's where this Frieza is from, and he leads super bosses. So once we actually do get the data download, we will finally see everything that is on the super bosses category. I hope this Frieza is good. Again, some people are thinking that Frieza might be the free-to-play LR, and I think it's probably going to be Beerus just because he already awakens. You know, because typically during anniversaries, you get one character that already awakens into a UR, who is usually the LR, and then all the rest are essentially in a waiting room for their TUR forms. So there's that. Then we also have the like special battlefield that's going to be coming out. When does this come out? The 24th? Whoa. Is this already out? 124. Yeah, this should already be out, I think. If not, then I'll go check it out. At least this is the start date for the news, because this is when this news dropped. I don't know when this actual battlefield is starting. That's just when we got the news information for it. And then we also have the Blue Zone. I made so many jokes. I made so many jokes about the Blue Zone. And the fact that the Blue Zone is not only real, but that like I wasn't coping. I like here I am thinking, oh yeah, haha, the Blue Zone, it's never gonna happen. Extreme class units needing super class enemies, never gonna happen. This is an extreme end game difficulty content faced against, as you can see, there's a Goku there, as well as just super class enemies in general. Another fun thing about this, it also mentions that when it finishes, it'll drop a support memory for superhero. So I don't know what you guys might be thinking, but I'm pretty sure the final fight in here is going to be against either Blue Gogeta or Beast Gohan. And that makes me incredibly excited for potentially, you know, Beast Gohan Part 2. Because, again, we already have the current movie Red Zone 2 that's coming out, which is probably going to have a new Broly stage, as well as a new Wink Wink Cell Max stage, probably, especially if they get new cards. Because, again, we still don't have the Beerus support memory from the movie 2 Red Zone. So I'm just saying, high probability that not only do we get hard extreme class content, but we're going to get hard super class content, because this is literally the Blue Zone. It's blue in color. It's not called the Blue Zone. It's called like, it's like Dokkan Super Fight or something like that. But this is the Blue Zone. It's finally happening. All the praying and wishing and all this mumbo jumbo about us crying for extreme class units to finally have a place where they could be used. Here it is. I have never been more excited. Another fun thing about this, I know this Vegeta's from Battle of Gods, and this one is from the Universe 6 or 7 tournament. There's multiple cards that benefit from this. Mainly, you have 13's EZA. He's going to benefit from this greatly, because he's going to be able to have Goku characters that he's going to be able to fight and do massive damage to. I don't know if they're going to be Super Saiyans in here. Probably. I just don't know. But you have 13 who's going to benefit from this. You have Jiren who's probably going to benefit from this. I'm trying to find. The easiest way to get the Jiren is this way, right? I know Jiren sucks, right? But depending on how they do things in here, not only could there possibly, well, actually, tournament participant enemy. So yeah, he will be able to benefit from this because he's going to be able to fight Blue Goku basically in from the Universe 6 or 7 tournament, which is fantastic for Jiren. Who else? Turles is another unit because there's Goku enemies in here, especially if the final fight is going to be against, for instance, Beast Gohan. He's going to be able to actually activate his entrance animation. Is going to make him a real unit. Dude, like, you don't understand how exciting the blue zone is for so many of these extreme class characters that, like, we're just begging for some sort of super class hard content. All the baby cards are going to get benefits from this because there's going to be pure and hybrid Saiyan enemies. Dude, like, there's so much here that is going to massively benefit these extreme class allies that you were using that just had nowhere to be used because they needed to fight either Goku or a super class enemy and all this stuff. They're finally going to be able to utilize those abilities. I think the biggest one is probably Turles because he gets significantly better. You know, he doesn't have key problems anymore. He's giving a bunch of support passively. You can even get use out of these guys. I believe they're going to be fine, but this unit can actually be good because they need to fight a Goku in order to have guard, right? A lot of these units are going to be significantly better solely based on the fact that we are getting the blue zone. And I find that just amazing. I love the fact that we are getting the blue zone and it's like actually real and I'm done coping about it. It's like actually happening. We are also going to be getting another support memory boost. I don't know what it's going to be for. Probably some sort of movie thing. I don't know yet. We'll see when we get it, but all we know is that we are going to be getting another movie support memory, presumably. Seems it's going to be happening on the 25th, so just keep your lookout for that, because I believe that is pretty much when everything drops. Is tonight is when we get UI Goku's EZA, as well as a couple other things. We don't know what he's weak to yet, I don't believe. It's probably just going to be like Universe Survival Saga or something. It's just his EZA isn't even in the data here yet, so we can't even look at what he's going to be a week to. So that's pretty much everything. Let me know how you guys feel about the 9th anniversary countdown. We have 5 days left to go before we see it, and 4 days left before we actually see the actual kits of Gogeta and Broly. So just let me know how you guys feel about everything currently in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.